Yo, welcome back to the next read along for Gravity's Rainbow. I'm going to be talking about pages 1 through 20 for this one. And there's just so many ways of putting all the things that I want to talk about that I guess to make it easier for myself, I just decided to write ahead a little bit first what I've been thinking. And so, these first 20 pages to me feel like the map for the book because I get it. I get the feel. I think Slothrop is supposed to be the main character, and this is where he comes in. And just before Slothrop comes in, we have Teddy Blow taking a picture of Slothrop's map, which I think, which I get the feeling is going to be, like in a poetic sense, I guess, like what he uses to think and put together information. And the reason that Teddy Bloat wants this or for I don't know, he's working for maybe the firm, I guess, but I guess the whole idea of taking a picture is just, I guess it's a very valuable thing to know how somebody else thinks exactly, right? So and especially with Slothrop's character, because from what I do remember and know about this book and having heard from other people, it's like Slothrop has like a psychic dick or something that, wherever he gets laid, I guess there's a strong likelihood. I think everywhere that happens, there a bomb falls or something. And so I guess having said that, I can't. I mean, like I hear this voice. I don't know who said it. Somebody said something about not trusting a map, and now that I just feel that pinging in my head, telling me like not to trust the map, so that to tie into the what I to bananas, which I guess is going to be the message of the book. If there is any, right? But I guess to put it a little more, I'm wondering if the message is going to be a message of death or life, I guess, so to speak, because everything it draws out is just like it's really nasty and weird, and it's talking about getting into fantasies of other people, right? And I think that's what Pirate Prentice is. The dossier doesn't seem to treat him as a person. It seems to treat him as a talent or something. And so it's easy to see that as like a readerly ability to jump into the book and to just sort of use your imagination, I guess, to see what's going on. And I guess what's going on is that I guess we're interested in Slothrop's map. So now we've got his map, which I think is in a way represented by the first 20 pages, and that the rest of this book is going to be the real and actual dungeon of everything I've heard about it. But if I want to, tie in what I think, what I think about this book in terms of what I've heard about it and my botched first reading, I mean, it felt like a giant mess, and it feels like a mess, like how the soil, the bananas, and where that grows in. It feels like a mess like that. So I just think the whole thing is going to be like a metaphor for how those bananas grow. And I guess also furthermore, just because I think my map is probably very much aligned with Catholicism, weirdly enough, but because I don't go to church or nothing, but like I just read it and I read books and I feel like that's what comes out. But like it's easy to see now how this book, it's fun, I guess, to see how now that I could take my mindset, because what's happening, I think, is the more that I engage with this language, the more I could feel like a camera coming out and like looking at me, right? So I'm wondering if anyone else has that experience of reading through this, a feeling that that's what's going to happen, is that eventually the camera comes out, and like right now. And see, that's really freaky, because it just begs questions to me about like why anyone would want to be like on the internet to do this. I mean, I think it's like fun to talk about literature and stuff, but it was one of the problems that I was getting towards the beginning, where there's like where the narrator tells us that all the people are hearing the same voice in their head, and there's this language about entanglement and disentanglement. So at the same time as I can understand that from a story perspective, like if the story becomes real, like what do I do now? Are people thinking more or less exactly the same thing, right? I think that maybe that's gonna be part of the bigger reason to read this book, is because I think it's just going to that I think it's going to get me disentangled from larger groups or larger group thinking patterns, I guess. I don't know. But I guess, like, no matter what your reason for commenting or whatever, because I'd really like to hear from y'all. Just I don't know. Let's just enjoy this book, because it can be really amazingly funny. I cannot stress this enough. That's further, I guess, why I want to do this, is I just want to help someone else, like, be able to read this book. I can't believe how, like, how gut busting it could be at times. Yeah, all right. I guess that'll be that for now. So, like, subscribe, get your word out. See y'all for the next read along. All right. See ya.